answer. Play or pass? Passing to Delta Tau Delta. How you doing, man? Name is?
Cody.
Cody. What does a bro have on him?
We go with a condom.
Condom. Survey says yes. Correct. Moving back down the line. What would a bro have on him?
A penny.
A penny. Survey says. That's an X. I know those types of things. Anyway, name James, right?
Yep.
What does a bro have on him?
A cell phone.
Cell phone. Survey says you got it. Name? Ryan, how you doing? What would a bro have on him?
His Sperry's.
Sperry's. Survey says correct. 3 answers left. You have 2 strikes to give. Cody, what would a bro have on him?
Go for a lighter?
Lighter. Survey says no. Strike left. What would a bro have on him?
Party shades.
Party shades. Survey says sunglasses. Correct. 2 answers again. What does a bro have on him?
A polo.
Polo. Survey says no. We move over to Sigma Chi. Do or die time for the Sigma Chi. Mariano.
Thank you, Jeff. We're going to go with some type of alcohol.
Alcohol. Survey says. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. What were the other 2 answers? Number 3, it was calf highs, mid calves. And what was the number 5 answer? A girl. A bro would have a woman on it. Anyway, Sigma Chi, thank you for playing. Thank you for all your help today. Hey, great game, guys. Great game. Thanks for playing. Delta Tau Delta, you're going to Fast Money. So select 2 players to play Fast Money. And it's time for Fast Money. You want to give another introduction for yourself? Where are you from?
I'm from Manhattan Beach, California.
Manhattan Beach, California. Let's see if you can answer Fast Money. Let's put 30 seconds on the clock. And the clock will start after I read the first question. Name a reason why you joined a fraternity.
Party.
Name a song played at parties that everyone knows the lyrics to.
Skip.
On what day of the week is a fraternity bathroom the cleanest?
Monday.
On average, how many beers does a fraternity man consume on a given night?
8.
Name a television station that's always on in a frat house.
ESPN.
Name a song that everyone knows at a party.
Name a song that everyone knows at a party.
And time is up. No answer. No answer. Great answers. Let's come up, take a look at the board, and see how you did. Name a reason why you joined a fraternity. You said parties. Survey said. Name a song at parties that everyone knows the words to. You said nothing. Survey said nothing. Name the day of the week that a fraternity room bathroom is the cleanest. Survey, you said Monday. Survey said 47. Name how many beers a fraternity man drinks on an average party night. You said 8. Survey said. And finally, name a television station that's always on in a fraternity house. You said ESPN. Survey said 51. So frankly, you've won the big prize, but let's bring your friend out. Partner did pretty well, but now it's time to see if you can win it all for your big team. You cannot repeat an answer that your teammates said. If you did, you'll hear this sound. And then you'll have to try again. You get 35 seconds to rattle off the answers. The clock starts once I read the first question. Name a reason why you joined a fraternity.
Brotherhood.
Name a song played at parties that everyone knows the lyrics to.
Mr. Saxo Beat.
On what day of the week is a fraternity bathroom the cleanest?
Sunday.
On average, how many beers does a fraternity man consume on a given night?
8.
Try again.
9.
Name a television station always on in a fraternity house.
ESPN.
Try again.
ESPN 2.
We'll take ESPN too, whatever. Great. Great answers. Let's take a look at the board and see how you did. First question. Name a reason why you joined a fraternity. Tucker said partying, 43 points. You said brotherhood. Survey said 27. Partying was the number one answer. Name a song that's played at parties that everyone knows the lyrics to. Tucker said nothing and had 0 points. You said Mr. Saxo Beat. That's 0 points. Number one answer, we found love. Name the day of the week a bathroom is the cleanest. Tucker said Monday, 47 points. That was the number one answer. You said Sunday, no points. How many beers does an average fraternity man drink on a given night? Tucker said 8, 48, number one answer. You said 9, 21, pretty good. Finally, name a television station always on in a fraternity house. Tucker said ESPN 51. You said ESPN 2, 0, but don't worry, you guys got the 135 points and are winners of tonight's Fraternity Feud. Congratulations, your prize, a Bird Dog Bay catalog for your frattiest ties, underwear, and other accessories. Thanks for playing. We'll be right back with Hall the Pulp and our guest, Deanne Konya. Welcome back to Hold the Pulp. Our guest tonight is up-and-coming DJ, performing at the Snowmont Festival this month in Vermont. We have Deanne Konya. Deanne Konya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Now I have to ask you, I don't know much about DJing, but what is the most important part? Is it pressing the play button, fist pumping, or balancing the earphone on your head?
Well, the most important part, the play button is pretty important because if you don't press that, the music doesn't play. But my favorite part is definitely the fist pump. If you can get involved with a jump and a smile, that's the trifecta. David Guetta does it really well. Avicii's got his signature, flat hand. So
Now, I'm assuming your birth name is not Deanne Konya, but where did this whole name come from?
Well, actually, my birth name is Drew Taggart, and one of my favorite books is Atlas Shrugged, and it's about the Taggart family. And my favorite character from that book is Francisco D'Anconia. So it's kind of, I kind of stole it from him as my favorite character, but also it kind of has the coincidental nature to it, seeing as it's about the Taggart family. So
now, frankly, I just don't get techno music, but when did you start making these beats?
I started making, like hip hop and producing, messing around with Ableton Live, which is the production digital audio workstation that I use when I was about 16, and I just did it as a passion, in all my free time, but never thought I'd really do anything more with it. And had some recent success, put out a couple tracks that people really liked, and people seem to want to see me play live, so we're just kind of trying to keep the ball rolling on that. So
speaking of you playing live, you've opened for Steve Aoki, you've opened for David Guetta. What's next? Where do you want to go from here?
Right now, I'd like to play more shows, obviously, but I'm really focused on writing just good songs. I want to write a big pop song. I'm working with Interscope, working for some of their new up-and-comers, Ava Simmons, Priyanka Chopra. They're all coming up with albums. I'm trying to collaborate with some of the producers that they have, Zed, Cascades, working with them now too. So trying to get affiliated with artists that are a lot bigger than me and just get my name out there. So.
Now you talked about performing live. You're performing at Snowmount later this month.
Right.
What's that experience going to do for you? Why did you choose that to play?
They reached out to me, and it's the first festival I've ever been asked to play at. So that's going to be pretty exciting. It looks like a fun festival just to go to anyway. So I'm getting paid to go have a good time. So I think it'll also expose me to a lot of people. You know, there's going to be a ton of different artists there. You know, Cascade, Snoop Dogg, Big Boy. You know, a lot of Flaming Lips. You know, a bunch of people are going to get to hear my music that maybe wouldn't run into my page on Facebook or my SoundCloud. So.
Now, I think everybody wants to know what's the deal with this face. Let's take a look at it. I mean, for God's sakes, it looks like you have a sinus infection. Like you're trying to blow your nose. Please explain to everybody what this is all about.
Well, yeah, an explanation is kind of hard for that one. I did a photo shoot. We had a ton of different pictures. I picked the ones that I thought were cool, put that out there. Didn't think I would get such a, you know, weird response about it. A lot of confused fans out there. So, I don't know. My mom is really happy that I changed my promo picture too.
Best thing to please the parents.
Oh, you got it. You got it.
You were talking about working with Interscope Records and putting out the release for Party Rockin'. What was that like? What's it like now working with a record label? And did you ever personally work with LMFAO?
I didn't work with LMFAO. I was given the stems, and you know, they said go home, you know, make a remix of this. So send it to us. We'll see what you got. And I sent it in. Interscope loved it, and they approved it. And then gets sent to LMFAO. And if Red Food likes it, then goes on the album. So that's pretty much the process.
So it's a whole different process.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Now, do you own the cheetah print? I mean, that's a big thing. If you're going to work or remix with LMFAO, you got to own cheetah print.
I agree. I got the cheetah print thong, but I don't have the full pant. So definitely a requirement, though.
Now, you're putting out a music video with some of LMFAO's footage. Explain where that came from. Who helped you out with that?
A good friend of mine, Dan, who's a Newhouse student here at Syracuse. Just whipped that up on Final Cut and you know, matched all the LMFAO footage up to my song, so it looks like it's my video. So it looks pretty tight.
Now we have a clip of that, and let's take a look. Get a lot of fans off of that, but one thing I need to ask is, what do you want the fans to know? If there's one thing you need all your fans to know as you're going out, touring now, playing the festivals, what should people who listen to D'Anconio know?
Up until now, I've always made my music in my dorm room, always with my friends around, you know, listening to my stuff as it's being made, giving me feedback. And for me, creating music is just as much about myself as it is connecting with you know, my fans and my friends. So I really take into account my fans and my friends' opinions about, you know, what music's good, what I'm doing, what they really like, and I try to make something that, you know, we can connect on, as opposed to just creating who I am. So
thanks for joining us,
No
D'Anconio.
problem.
Good
Thanks
luck
for
at the
having
music
me.
festival. Catch him at the Snow Mountain Music Festival in Vermont later this month, and we'll be right back with more Hold the Pole. And that's our show, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks to D'Anconio. Thanks to Delta Tau Delta and Sigma Chi for their efforts in Fraternity Feud. Thanks to our lovely co-host and sidekick, Kevin Claudoni. And of course, thank you again to our DJ Pete. We'll see you next time on Hold the Pole.
Thank you.